Hello everyone and welcome back. As in our previous session, we have discussed the concept of a star schema and snowflake schema. So what I did is basically let me open the Excel. So this was the sample data or the data set that we were discussing it about. So what I did is I created and uploaded this table in SQL Server, the order fact table and also the product dimension table. And the remaining table, we will be creating it in Power BI itself, the date dimension. And we will try to load an Excel file directly for the location one so that we can have multiple sources connected together in Power BI. And then we will see that how the modeling was. So for this, we will go to the Power BI and we'll start with data connections. So we will try to fetch the data from SQL Server. Here I can put my server name and the database name. Okay. So these are the sample tables that I have created in SQL Server. So basically what we need is product. So you can see the product information. It is same as the Excel sheet. And then we have the order information. So this is the order fact table. Then I will click on load if I don't want to perform any transformation. Data seems pretty much okay. So what I will do is basically I will click on load. It will take few seconds to upload. Okay. So now it's uploaded. We can go to the table view from here. And here we can see there are two tables created. Okay, this is our order table. And here I think almost everything seems okay. So only a part is for any measure related information. If it is text, then we need to change it to a decimal or integer based on the property. And for the date format also we need to change. Here everything is text. So we need to change all those stuff. Order ID is same because it is an ID. So it should be a text. But for discount, it should be a decimal number. So you can click OK. For unit price also, it should be a decimal number. Shipment cost, same decimal number. And then you have customer ID is okay, it should be text. Product ID is also okay. Postal code is also okay. Yeah, for the order date, it should be a date format. You can click OK. So here you can change the format if you don't want this format. Then from the format option, just like Excel, you can change it to the shorter format like this. Similarly, you need to change the format of shipment date to date format. And then again, the format you can change it to shorter format. So here you can see the icon is changing once we are changing the data type. So here we can see the aggregation option for the decimals and the integers and the calendar symbol for the time dimensions. Ordered quantity, you can put it as an whole number. Okay. And then sales, you can put as a decimal number. Yeah. So it's pretty straightforward. In later on, we will see how to do complex calculations or complex transformation of the data using DEX query or Power Query. But for this example, we are keeping it simple that everything is perfectly fine in terms of the data quality that we need. So this is what we need to do for the order table. Now we will go to the product table. So we will click on the product table. Now in the product table, everything seems okay. Only thing is the product based margin should be decimal. Okay. So now it is giving an error. So maybe there is some data which the system is not able to change. So if we see the data, I think all the numbers are okay. There is no other text which system won't be able to change. Only thing I would suspect is this blank value. So possible this blank value the system is unable to understand. For a blank value, what should be the corresponding decimal value? In that case, what we can do, we can write a DEX query. So what we will do, we'll create a new column and we will name this column as product base margin. And the formula we will put as if statement, and if product base margin is equal to blank, then assign value 0, else assign value of product base margin and enter. Okay, so here we can see the value has been derived based on what formula we have written. And here you can see the data type is decimal. If after the formula as well, if the data type is text, you can change it to the decimal, and for this column it will work perfectly fine. Okay, so this is done. So we have it. Okay, so these two tables are ready. So the remaining table is based on our schema. So this table is done and this table is done. So we will be loading the location dimension and the customer ID through flat file. So what we will do, we will go to the location dimension. So this is our table and we can create either CSV or text file. We can also upload the Excel file, that is also okay. But in this case, I will try to create a CSV file. So copy, create a copy, new workbook, okay. And then I will try to save it. Maybe desktop location or somewhere. Yeah, desktop. So in the desktop, I can save it as a CSV format. And then I will name it as a location. So this is a location file. And close this. We will go to the Power BI again. Home tab, get data, and CSV, desktop, location, open. Okay, so the data seems perfectly fine. We can load it straight away. Now we have the location table. We can click on the location table. These are the postal code. So it is expected to be of text format. So if this is a whole number, we need to change it to text because this is a postal code. It's not a number. Okay. Okay. So this is fine now. So our three tables are ready. Another table would be customer dimension. So similarly, we will create another table for customer dimension by copying it to new workbook, and then we will save it. Let's save it to desktop again, customer, and USB. Save. Yeah. So this is also saved. We'll close this file. We will go back to Power BI and load our fourth table through CSV, customer, open. Okay, data seems okay. Load. Yeah. So customer table is also loaded. We'll click on customer and we can see the customer ID, the customer name, and the customer segment has been uploaded successfully. Now, if we come to the model view, we can see the model is appearing as per our expectation. So here you can see this join has been created automatically, but we will create it later on. We don't want to create relationship straight away. So this is our fact table. This is our location table. This is our products table. And this is our customer table. We will now need the time dimension table to relate our order dates, like shipment date and the order date, with the time dimension. So there are certain ways the time dimension can be created. It may be present in any of the source like SQL Server or any of the database through which you are connected, and it has a time dimension master data table. So from there you can just simply connect and create a table as is. Or else if you don't have any other source where you have the time dimension kind of table, then you can create you can write a dex query or m query directly in Power BI to create your table. So in this case, what we will do, we will write a dex query to create our time dimension table. So to create a table directly in Power BI, we need to go to the modeling tab over here, and here we have the option of new table. So we can click on the new table option, and here we will get an option for the formula. So for the table we can put, so basically we need to create two calendar tables, one for the shipment date and one for the order date. So for the shipment date, we can name the table as shipment date, and the text formula will be calendar and will be the start date. So start date, so here you can put any range. So maybe when you create a calendar kind of a table in Power BI, you can use it in other requirements as well. So you can name your calendar accordingly. Maybe you can create a global table for calendar for 10 years of data or 20 years of data, and then you can use it for other requirements as well. For this one, we will take a simple example. So what we will do is basically we will take a range of date, then year. Let's suppose we will take from 2014-01. So this is the month, and date is also 01. And then we will put the end date. End date, let's suppose we are creating 3 years of calendar. So here we will put date 2016, then month would be 12, and date will be 31st. And then we will close the bracket and press enter. Okay. So we can go to the table option over here to look at the table. Now we can change the format. Instead of date time, we will just put date, and the format, we will keep the format as the shorter format as we had for the shipment date in our order table. So this is the date. Now we will keep on adding other columns which will be needed for like other granularity, like week number or the month number or the year and all. So how we can do that? Okay, so first of all, we will click on new column, and this column we will name it as year, and in the formula we will put as year of shipment date and close. Okay, so here you can see we have derived the years. So basically we created 3 years of data. So 2014, 2015, 2016. Similarly, we can add another column for the month. So this will be month number. And for the month number, we will put as month and shipment date close. Yeah. So this is the month number starting from 1 to 12. So for the month name also we can create. So So for the month column, we need to put a month equal to format in the DAX formula, and then we need to select the date and the format MMMM. So instead of having the full name, if you are interested to have only the short name of the month, then you can put 3 M's in the formula and put enter, and this is how it will look like. So similarly, we can create another column for the weekdays as well. So here we can put week name, and in the week name, we need to put weekday, shipment date, and this is the start date. So basically, if you start with Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, accordingly you can select. So here you can see Sunday equal to 1 and Thursday equal to Saturday for this one. If you select 2, then it will be different. So we'll go with this one where Sunday is equal to 1. In many of the cases, Monday is equal to 1. So you can select based on your organization needs, and then we can close this option. Oh, sorry. So this is the week number. Yeah. So we will add another one for the weekday. So this will be the week name, and here we can put format, then week number, sorry, weekday of shipment date, and we can select the same option, and in the format we can put as DD for the full name, and we can close it. So here you can see we got the name. Similarly, if we want the short name, we can just put 3Ds like this and we'll get the short name. So by this way, we can create the required fields in the calendar table. So this is one calendar table has been created. We will create another copy of this table so that we can map one table with the shipment date and another table with the order date field. So year is there, month number is there. So day number is not there. So we can put the day number as well. So day. So this we can put as format date when days, and we can select shipment order date. Yeah. And here you can see starting from. So it is taking all the dates only. So this is basically the day of week, maybe you can say day of week. And week number is basically for a year. We start with, so there are total 52 weeks. We start with first week. So week number would be different. So if we want to insert a week number, then we can use a formula of week number, and then we can put a shipment date and enter. So here you can see this is the first week of the year, second week, third week, and so on. So this will go around 52 and 53. Yeah. So this is complete list of date tables. Maybe if any other format is needed, like short format also you need, longer format also you need, you can keep adding the columns and just use the DEX formula to create. So I will create another column, another table, but with a different name with the similar fields for the order date. Let me use other option. Okay. So what else we can do is once our calendar table has been created, we need to mark it as a date table to use all those features for our reporting purpose. So for that, we need to go to the table tools, and here we have an option to mark as a date table. So we need to ensure that we have selected the correct table so that the correct table is displayed over here. And then we will select and click on mark as date table. And then you need to select the column, which is the date column. So here the date column name is the date. So if any data inconsistency is there, you will get a error message or warning. Otherwise, here you can see everything is validated successfully. So you can click on OK. Okay. So this will allow you hierarchical representation of the dates and some other reporting features, which we will see later. But the table is now created. Now we just need to copy this table. So this is the shipment date table. We will create another table called order date table. Okay, so due to some reason, this copy option is not working. Okay, what else we can do? We can click on the new table, and we will name this table as order date, and we can just simply reference the shipment date table, so everything will be copied. Okay, and for this we can change the format as the shorter format. So this should be date, and this one should be the shorter format of the date. Now everything is exactly the same as the shipment table. So we have two tables, and we have all the 6 schema required. So we are not going with the extended version of the schema. So basically we have all the product information in the product dimension itself. But if we have any additional information in another table, which is like which is related to another dimension table, then we will go with extended schema or snowflakes. But for this case, we are just considering these 6 tables. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have uploaded the location dimension using a flat file, customer ID table with using a flat file. Order fact table is a transaction data. So this fact table we have uploaded from SQL Server, which is SQL Server. Product dimension master data we uploaded from SQL Server, and the date dimension 1 and date dimension 2 we created directly in the Power BI. Yeah. So back to the Power BI. So here we have our models ready. So now we will do relationship between the models. So it is very simple, and this is a very simple case. So later on we will see some complex options and how to do those. We will also go through complex transformation logics. So how we can do the transformations using a DEX query and a Power BI and Power Query. So for this case, okay, so to start with, so this is the customer ID table and this is the customer ID here. So we will relate this with the customer ID. Okay. And this relation should be many to one. So customer ID should be unique in this one. And we can do it. So when we will do the reporting, there will be options to put a filter. So maybe this one have an option where we have the corporate as a, so we can put corporate as a filter. Then we need to select both ways. But if we want that filtering should be only applicable for the fact table, then we will use a single order filter way like this. So cardinality you select isn't valid. Okay, so there should be some error in the file of the customer file. So we can go to the customer file and we can see if there is any duplicate value, why it is showing an error. Yeah. We'll go to the home tab, conditional formatting, and yeah. So here we can see there are duplicates. So these duplicates are not expected. So that is why it is showing an error. So no duplicate is expected in a master data because this is a master data. It should always be unique. Why duplicate is there? Because here you can see the customer ID is the same, the customer name is the same, but the customer segment is different. So which we expected should be the same. Yeah. So this will vary case to case. So in this sample data, maybe it is the same. So that is how when it is so important when we go through the data design and when we design the architecture of our database. So here we can see if we assumed that for a single customer ID, the customer name and the customer segment should be unique, but that is not the case. Okay. So for the sake of simplicity, what we can do is basically we can create another table. Okay. So we will create a table over here and we will remove the duplicates because we are doing it for the practice or the testing purpose. We can do that, but in real scenario, if that is the case, then we need to delete in a another way. So we need to whatever data is being there, we need to put it like a compounding kind of uh, terminology is there. If your master data is not unique and it also need another key to create a compounding key. So that is another concept. So in this case, we will remove duplicates. Okay. And we will just try to read the data using the VLOOKUP. Okay. So we will use VLOOKUP, the customer ID. So what it will do, it will look up the first value, whichever it is, from this table to the new table. So this will be 20. Yeah. So this will be uploaded and I will copy the formula and paste it over here. And this will be 3. Yeah. And then we can paste all the values. Okay. Then go to home, make it as Arial. Now we can just copy this data to create a new sheet, create a copy, and we can save this our desktop and we can replace the previous file. The comma delimited customer save. Yes. So replace the older one. And then we can go to Power BI, cancel this and delete the customer table. So delete it from model, yes. So customer table has been deleted. Go to the text CSV again, select the new customer table, click OK and load. Okay. So it's loaded now. Now let's try to see if that helps. Okay. Yeah, so customer data is available. Now what we can do, this is the order date. And here we have the customer data. So here we will put the customer data. Let me minimize it a bit. Yeah. So now we will try again. So we will drag the customer ID to the customer ID and this is joined. So it got automatically joined because there were no data issue. So all the values in the fact table should have one value in the customer name. So if we want to see the property, we can go like this. Here we can see it is many to one relation between the order table and the customer table with a single filtration direction. We can click OK. Similarly, we can join the with the product ID. We can do the join. So this is 1 to 1. 1 to 1 basically because I think the product ID is not duplicate in this table. Otherwise, it will also be many to one. So filtration, we will keep it. Okay. Let me try many to one and then single. Now, okay. So we have changed it. And the next one is the postal code. So we will go with postal code. And again, I think postal code also have some discrepancy in the data. So we need to look at the postal code as well. So let's open the location again. Okay. So there should not be any duplicate postal code. But if that is the case, we need to correct it. Yeah. So we have couple of duplicates. So what we can do, so two different cities having same postal code. So this is something wrong with the data, nothing to do with the design. So we can delete one of them because we are doing it for the testing purpose. But in real scenario, this decision needs to be taken by the business, not by us. If any data discrepancy is there. So now there is no duplicate data. We can copy it, new book, and then we will save it to desktop in CSV format and as a location. Replace it, close it, go again, delete the location table. Now delete from model, and then we can go to upload from CSV and click load. We go to table, location, and postal code should be text. Okay, else good. And in the order table, also we need to check if postal code is text. Order table, postal code, it is already text. So good. So now we can drag our location over here and we will connect it with the postal code. So now many to one relationship has been created. Similarly, we can create a relationship between shipment date and the date field over here and order date and the date field over here. So all our model is ready. So here you can see our semantic model has been created with all the joins. And now we will be able to create the report. So this is it for today's session. In the other session, we will look into like how complex designs can be done in Power BI. So there are certain options. Like if you see this is a table, there is an option where you can hide some of the fields using the hide option. You can create measures, you can create new columns we have already created in our example. But we can also, if any query is there, we can edit the query or how we can do that. Apart from that, we will also look at the data source. So if we have a, let's suppose, product table, so this product information or the order information is coming directly from our SQL server. Okay, so here we can so this is it for today. In our next session, we will go through few of the sample questions that has been asked in PL-300 certification exam on the data preparation part, and we will also discuss the transformation option of the data preparation, how that can be done. One thing I need to mention here is basically as we created the table for for the time dimension, we have created two tables using the DAX query that can also be created using a Power Query. Okay, so you can go to the transform data option, and here you can create a new table. So basically for that, what you need to do is So we need to go to the Power Query editor, and from here we can create a time dimension table as well. Similarly, that we did using the DEX query. So here we have an enter data option. We can click on the enter data and then click OK. And here we can put the formula as this list dot dates, and then we can put the start date and then the duration of the year, and duration, this is date, month, hour and second. So we don't want the time dimension, that is why we put one only in the date. So it will be keep on generating each date of starting from this date for 10 years. So we put enter, and here you can see it is starting from 31st of May 2011, and it will generate for 10 years of the data because it is 365 into 10. Now what we need to do is, because this is a list, it is not a table, so we need to select this and we need to convert it to table. So here you can click OK. So now this is a table format. You can change the name as date. So this is the date. And then similarly, you can add rows and add columns, and you can just simply write down the formula for year, month, and so on. So we can go to add column option over here, and we can click on add custom column. Okay, and here we can put the formula of that column. So similarly, we can create other required columns as well in this table. So as you can see, we using the Power Query, we created a date table, and here we have the dates starting from the range that we have given. So how we can create our table columns is basically, so if we remove, so here you can see. So this is the formula that we used for the list, and then we converted it to the table. So here you can see all the steps. So whichever step you will apply will appear over here. So now we need to go to add column, and here we have a custom column option. So here we have different options. So here it will ask the name. So let's suppose we are creating for the year, and the formula here would be date dot uh, date dot year. Sorry, let's remove this. So this will be the format, and here we need to put the column. So we can change the column name as well. So click OK, and here you can see the year column has been created. We can rename this column to date. Okay. Similarly, we can create the month, weekdays, and all as we did for the using the DEX query. So we will keep it simple for this session, and in the next session we will look around other transformation options. So in next session we will go through few sample questions for the data preparation step, and we will also see the other transformation options and frequently used DEX queries that are really useful. So we can go home, apply and close. Yeah. So this is our table, and date table has been created, which we just created using our M query, which is the Power Query. Okay, so this is it for today's session. Thank you everyone for joining this session, and please provide your feedback or comment in the comment section so that we can discuss further on any clarification is needed. I will try to recap all the sessions till now in the next session. Then we will have the sample questions, and then we will also see some transformation logics, how we can do the data refresh settings and all. Yeah. Okay. Thanks everyone.